Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here today. Some of you may know Kimberly Rose, who's normally in this class. She had to have surgery yesterday. She turned 50 and did what is recommended, go get a colonoscopy. And they found a huge tumor in her colon. And so they sped everything up. This just happened a few weeks ago. She did have surgery yesterday. She came in at some point last week and kind of fell into my arms and said, I'm so scared. And I'm like, I would be too. Like, that's normal. So today is kind of dedicated to her and what she's going through, also what my sister's going through. There's another person that's going to be unspoken that's also part of our community who's also dealing with cancer. She just doesn't want her name out there. But it's just something that is already heavy, right? And in the midst of all the heaviness we've already been through and the things that are kind of stirring up just in the last couple of days, it's just a lot. So today's message is about courage. Because courage is making yourself do something even if you're scared, you know? So her message yesterday, I actually got a message from her when she came out of her sedation, I guess. And her message was, I'm alive. And it just made me smile. Like that was her comment, I'm alive. Because it is scary to be put under and it's scary to have to go through any type of surgery. So at the end of the practice, please don't let me forget, I want us to send her an Om bath, which is just like a yogic prayer, just sending our positive vibes and energy in her direction. So that would be great. So courage. Courage is facing our fears. Courage is showing up. Courage is willing to be seen and willing to be heard. Courage is something that we sometimes have to really muster up for ourselves. Courage is having the strength, to get through it. We've been told in scriptures, sacred scriptures, to have courage, to take courage. And so I want you to kind of tap into your own brave heart today through our practice. We're going to start sitting and breathing. So coming to a comfortable position and aligning your spine. Closing your eyes. And taking deep breaths in and out the nose. Feeling your spine slightly spring up as you inhale. And feeling yourself get more weighted in your hips on your exhale. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose so that you're dropping out of your head more into your body, and even more specifically into your heart. It's in the heart of hearts where we gain access to our own personal courage. Feel as though the heart is buoyant upon the wave of the breath. Instead of sinking into the abyss of the unknown. Develop a rhythm to your breath. And see if you can continue to keep this cadence as we explore this practice today. We're going to start with a little warm up here in a seat with Circle of Joy. So on your next in-breath, bring your hands to prayer position at your heart, lace your fingers together, and as you exhale, extend your wrist forward and out. Inhale, lift the arms straight up overhead, and as you exhale, curve over to one side of your body, forming the seated Chandrasana, crescent moon. In this crescent moon shape, we're opening up the side body, cutting through the tension that may be housed around lungs, affirming here mentally and quietly within, strength and courage fill up my body cells. Inhale, rise up to the top. Exhale, take it to the other side. Still rooting down through your seat, still lifting up to the palms of the hands. Opening up the channel of the breath. If the breath feels restrained whatsoever, it shows you're doing too much physically, so do a little less with your mechanics. And then planting that positive seed, strength and courage, fill up my body cells. Inhale, come up to the top. As you exhale, your hands are gonna lace behind your back, crank the shoulders back, lengthen out through the forearms, and allow the front door of the heart to expand and to open wide. Take one last deep breath into your chest. And then as you exhale, release your hands apart and rest them on your lap. We're gonna swirl in one direction. I don't care which direction you go, but we're basically circling the torso over the lap. You can stay high or low. Feel free to be more expressive or sensual in your rotations. We're trying to get rid of some of the stiffness in the back, in the sideways, in the hips. But this is also great for the kidneys, and the kidneys, according to Chinese medicine, is the organ that tends to be compromised from storing fears. And we just said courage is facing our fears. And then inhale, draw yourself back to the top. Pause for a moment. Feel the effects. And then we're going to swap the positioning of the feet. You may have felt a little bit more sensation on one hip. And now we're going to circle the opposite direction than we were going. So begin to swirl in the opposite direction. Close the eyes and feel free to find your personal pace. Do you prefer it to be slow? Do you prefer it to be more moderate? Or would you like to speed it up? There's no right or wrong with this. However, I would let the movement match the breath. So if you're wanting to speed up, breathe a little quicker. The inhale brings us up, and the exhale takes us down and around. And then come back up and take pause, flip your hands open. And then crack the eyelids open. And we're gonna come up to stand. So go ahead and come to stand at the top of the mat. Broadening the base of the feet, spreading out through the toes. Bringing your hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at your heart. We'll begin with a simple A, Surya Namaskara. So inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, begin to pour down into your Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen out. Exhale, you're stepping back and lowering into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, you're rising into upward facing dog. And as you exhale, you're rolling over the toes to form downward facing dog. Solidify those hands, push up and back through your hips, and bow your head humbly. Cast your gaze back towards the feet or beyond, and breathe. On your next inhale, let's land the feet at the top of the mat, opening the heart center upon arrival. Exhale, drape the heart down and in. Inhale, soar all the way up to the top. And exhale, Samastitihi. We're going to do 2 more A's. Inhale, open up. Exhale, fold in as you hinge from the hips. Inhale, create some nice space and length the vertebrae.
And as you exhale, step it back, lower down and build some upper body strength. Inhale, lift and open the heart and throat. And as you exhale, rock and roll back over the feet. Downward facing dog. Holding and breathing. We said courage is showing up. How much are you showing up for yourself today and in this pose and in this moment? Let your breath anchor you into this now moment. On your next inhale, land the feet at the top, come to Ardha Uttanasana, and then exhale Uttanasana. Inhale Urdhva Hastasana, and exhale Samasthiti. Okay, there's the school. Okay. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, swan dive in. Inhale, open up, look out with your eyes. And then exhale, step it back and drop it low. Inhale, open the front of the body. And exhale, open the back of the body. Pausing and breathing here. So for today's flow, we're opening up with 3 A's. This is our third. And then we'll do 3 B's before we mix in the other standing poses. On your next in-breath, bring the feet to the top of the mat, lifting halfway. Exhale, roll it down, belly, chest, base. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. And exhale, Samasthiti. All right, now we'll move into B. Inhale, take your chair. Exhale, fold straight down, Uttanasana. Inhale, sprout up. Exhale, low push up. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, invert. Right foot steps through, warrior 1. Hips tee off, hands frame the face. Exhale, hands ground. Step it back. Continue to flow with your breath. Left foot next, warrior 1. Foundation first, build up from there. And then exhale, take it right back in. Pausing in the third downward facing dog to breathe, to reset, to reconnect, to regroup. Keep showing up. Have the courage to go within and be with your mind, to observe your thoughts and feelings. Inhale to the top of the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Continue. Inhale, chair, Utkatasana. Exhale, tip forward over straight legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower and hover. Wait for the in-breath to lift. Allow the out-breath to roll you back. Right foot steps through, warrior 1. Finding your stance. And then release. Courage is being ready to move forward, to move on. So continue to move through the vinyasa and then inhale, left foot, warrior one. Warriors are brave and full of courage. Feel that energy, promote that in yourself. Exhale, release. Now hold and breathe. Feel the muscles that are waking up. Feel the ones that are already awake. Next in breath, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. We're doing one more. Inhale, chair. Exhale, release. Inhale, uplift. Exhale, hover and hold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, roll back. Right foot, warrior one. Affirming here, I am courageous. Release your hands, step it back. Drop it low. Build it up. And take it back. Left foot leads next. Affirming all the way up. I am courageous. And release. Final Vinyasa flow 4 now. Resetting. Reconnecting. Regrouping. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're gonna hop the feet apart, shoulders back, and hinge forward. The hands will then release and loop around each big toe. The arms will fan out, the thumbs will push into the toenails. And the chin is gonna slightly tuck to the chest. Variation of Padangusthasana. Notice if you're backing your weight back into your heels, and if so, shift forward towards your toes. Take one last breath. We're coming up, hands to the hips. Slowly lengthen out through the heart center and rise up. We're gonna place the feet together first. We're gonna step to the right, turning the feet parallel. Right foot will turn to face the back of the mat. Arms will lift, shoulder height. You're gonna lengthen over the back leg to come into your triangle. And the fingers wide on that upper hand to open up space for the diaphragm muscle. Now pressurize the feet. Use the top hand to come up. Turn your right foot in, left foot out. Once you have the feet in position, lengthen over the front leg. Exhale, windmill down, triangle. Can you revolve through your belly and chest? Now we're skipping revolving triangle today. So when we come up, we're gonna do side angle next. So plant the feet, use the top hand to rise, let go of the shoulders, turn the left foot in,
Rotate your right foot out, lunge the knee, drop onto it with your arm, sail the left arm up and overhead. Make sure that right thigh stays open. Your back foot stays glued to the surface. Your breath stays nice and full. Good, inhale, come all the way up. Lift your right arm, turn your right foot. Rotate your left foot to the front of the mat. Lunge the knee. Rest on top of it. Top arm releases. Focus on that energy line. Moving from the back heel to the top hand. Inhale, slowly come up. Turn the left foot in. We're going to take the hands to the hips, shoulders roll back. Exhale, dive down. Print your feet into the mat. Lift your knees and quads. And let the top of the head face down. So this is Prasarita Padottanasana B, but we're also going to be doing C. So root the feet, slowly come up. We'll lace the hands behind the back, similar to what we did in the warm-up, except this time you have a choice. You can stay standing and just work here with the shoulders and the chest, or you have an option to fold to work the lower body as well. Choosing to stay standing or choosing to take the forward fold. Either way, the hands are laced, the shoulders are cranked back, the heart is open. The heart be buoyant upon the wave of the breath. On your next inhale, root down to come up. And as you exhale, release your hands apart. All right, now, once the hands are apart, you're going to bring the hands back together behind your back. Maybe bringing it into reverse prayer hands. Maybe crossing your arms. See what is best. Your right foot will rotate to the back of the mat. And your left foot will hop to the side and turn in at a better angle. Square the hips. Shoulders roll back. Throat slightly opens as you gaze towards where the wall meets the ceiling. And as you exhale, begin to pour over the right leg. Sending your belly button over in that direction. Your head can be slightly up, gazing towards your toes with the Padayurvardrishti. Your head can also release, if that's better for your neck. Parsvottanasana, the intense side stretch pose. So if you're doing it properly through the lower body, you'll feel the stretch in that IT bit. Inhale, slowly come up. Now, if you cross your arms, you're going to crisscross the other way. If your hands are in reverse namaste hands, you're going to stay there. You're going to rotate and swivel the feet. Now facing the front. Lift the chest, gaze to where the wall meets the ceiling. And then when you're ready, turning the right ribs, the navel over towards the left leg. Sending yourself down, gazing towards the front foot or gazing towards the back foot. What's better for your neck?
One last breath. Inhale, slowly build up. Release your hands. Step the right foot forward. We're gonna work into Padangusthasana today. So again, you can have hand holding the knee, or you can tie the toe. Figure out where you're going to be today. Oh, I don't want to do this today. Opening to be. Back to A. And release. All right, condition the right leg and foot down. Determine which Padangusthasana form you wish to express. Modify holding the knee or tying the toe. Openings B. Back to A. And release. So we did AB, now we're gonna do CB. So if you want to modify C, you'll bring the knee in and double over. And if you want the full C, you're extending the leg. And then D would be here. Okay, so determine which C, modified or not. Start with the right leg. To D. Okay, you have to touch down first. And release. Oh, why is it so hard today? C, standing on the right, catching the left. D. Whew. All right, done with that balance. Come back to the top of your mat. Instead of holding the chair for 5 breaths, we're actually going to do the standing form of circle of joy. So hands are going to join to the heart. Lace the fingers, extend the wrists. Similar to what we did earlier. Lift the arms overhead. Exhale, curve right. Standing Chandrasana. The purpose of the affirmation, strength and courage. Feel my body sense. Inhale to the top. Exhale to the other. Strength, courage. Build up my body sense. Inhale to the top. Exhale, hands behind the back. Lace up. Open the heart, bend the knees. Sit back and fold over your thighs. Inhale, Utkatasana. This time, arms over you, palms together, gazing upward. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. We're gonna keep it flowing. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, however you want to arrive to that pose. Continue with the Vinyasa. Holding this position. We're gonna come through to sit. So if you want to land your knees and then just come down to sit, sweeping the feet in front. If you want to jump through, that's fine too. So we're going to bend the right knee today, open from the hip for Jani Shasana. Lift the arms up. Exhale, crisscross the hands as you fold. So that your left hand's holding the big toe side. Your right hand's holding the pinky toe side. You can also hold your calf. Swapping the hands this way, keeping the elbows held up. That keeps the pits of the arms open, which keeps the chest and the heart open. Pushing down through the left thigh bone, pressing out through the left heel. Inhale, coming up. So turn so it can be you. If you want to lift that right foot to half load as you can, I'm leaving that out today. Your right arm's gonna circle behind your back. Your left arm's gonna reach up to the heavens. Now, there are some days and moments where we need to be here. I remember in 2020, Mary Beth was in the class because I think we were both having some back stuff show up. I couldn't even fold. There were a couple weeks I couldn't even fold. So check in. This actually feels really nice for the right shoulder. So when you do fold and descend, which one do you need more of? The sitting up version or the folding down version? I actually feel like I need to sit up, not for my back, like I just mentioned for 2020, but for my right shoulder, it feels really better to be here. So always just check in, experiment. Let your body help you to decide. All right, inhale, come up to join me. And as you exhale, your right hand is going to lower to the right knee. Your right arm is going to release and lift up overhead. Now notice you're in a twist. Stay in the twist as you fold over the front leg again. So you have a twist, you have a side bend. You have a hip opener. You have some hamstring work. Inhale, come up. Exhale, land your right hand behind you, but see if you can hug the right knee towards you with the left arm. Activate that left foot that you're turning away from. Breathe down deep into your belly. Good, as you exhale, unwind from that. Now, when you lifted that knee, the foot was super close to that straight leg. So walk it over. So the right arm can come to the inside of that knee. You're gonna twist, twist, turn the arm to bind around it. Then the left arm's gonna reach out in front to swim behind the back. Maybe your hands can come together, maybe not. It's okay if they can't. And then you just drift your head down. And slowly release. Slide your right foot. Bend your left knee. Open up from the hip. Down into Shavasana. Lifting the arms overhead, crisscross the wrists. Folding to hold the foot or calf. It's nice that we're working into the lower body too with this theme of courage, because it takes courage to take any initial steps. It takes courage to continue to move forward, even when we feel like we're being held back. Inhale, slowly come up. Now, if you want that foot and half loaded, so you can do it, or you can just thread the left arm behind your back. Right arm ascends. You check in here. Also check in when you fold. What do you need the most? Maybe you do need the work in the lower body. Maybe you do need to work more in the shoulder and more in the chest. And this is how we personalize our practice. When you start to personalize your practice here in a group setting, then you'll be more available to do that in your home setting. Cindy and I were just talking about, we don't love yoga on the beach because of all the sand. We'll do it. It's not our favorite. All right, inhale, come back up. Exhale, right hand to the left knee. The left arm will now lift overhead, and then you'll curve off. Inhale, gently come up. You're still going to face that side wall as you lower the left hand behind your back, but go ahead and bring that left knee up and then hug it in with that right arm. Doing a different variant of a twist. Let your belly expand and push into that thigh. You're holding close. That'd be a good stimulus for the digestive tract. Exhale, unwind. When you unwind, go ahead and bend your right knee to join your left. Hands are going to slip up underneath the knees. You'll lean into the back part of your sits bones to flex and float the feet. Use your core, use your hip flexors, use your concentration for Navasana boat. Choose to stay here or release your hands, or keep your hands where they are, but float the feet higher to straighten your legs. Continue to breathe. Choose to stay in that initial phase. Keep your hands released or straighten them out, or do another blend. When we crisscross the ankles, we normally bump up, but instead of bumping up, we're gonna root the hands and we're gonna step it back to downward facing dog today. We're gonna hop the feet forward like squat. If you don't want to jump, you can step 1 foot at a time. Your option is to be here in squats. The second option would be to lift the hips, activate the arms, lift the head, shift your feet, and take crow. Feel free to continue to play with crow or back off to squat. Staying in squat or lifting the hips, bowing your head, sliding your hands back, squeezing the legs to the shoulders, and maybe going to a different arm balance, Bhuja Pindasana, where you're on your hands, but your feet are up. Your gaze is staring somewhere on your mat out in front of you. And then if you want to go to Chittavasana, you can. I'm ready to come down. 2 arm balances is enough for me. You may want the third. Now we'll all take a seat. Separate the feet. I did a brief little tutorial when I was out west on this pose, Karmasana. So the first one, the hands slide up underneath the knees. And you bow your head, right? Super simple. The thing about simplicity is awesome. I love that kind of the new decorating style is minimalistic. And there's been this trend, even in architecture, like it doesn't have to be a McMansion, right? You can have a really cool tiny home if you wanted a tiny home, right? So minimalistic is something that I love. It's getting more and more appreciation. So maybe bring some of that minimalistic attitude into yoga. It doesn't always have to be fancy. So this is as simple and as easy as it gets. Rounding the back, feeling the head down, tortoise. The second phase, if you want it, is to flex the feet, let them slide out on the wood floor, and you're just slowly doubling over. The third phase would be to keep the arms under the knees, but you swish the hands so that the back of the hands come more to the hips and you're heel toeing the feet more together like butterfly, and your head is down. Another variant of Karmasana. And then the final one I can't show you, but it's feet behind the head, hands together behind the back. Regardless of which one you take, it's about going within. To go within. Find your courage. We all have it. Now this third phase is a little trickier to get out of. You may need to heel toe the feet apart and then release the hands. Then we're going to slide the legs out and the hips forward. Konasana. Yeah, you can sit on the edge of the blanket if that gives you that little pelvic tilt you need. You can ground your thighs, you can ground your shins, you can tap your toes, or you can have your hands in the middle. But figure out where you want to be. And make sure you have a blend of strength and flexibility. So the flexibility is when the feet are relaxed and we're just dropping over. The blend of strength and flexibility is when we have the action in the feet and the firmer structure through the muscles of the legs.
And slowly come up. So I'm gonna add in a pose we don't normally do with this type of format. So the left knee is gonna be out in front. And the right leg is going to cross over on top. Now, if this just doesn't work for your body, don't force it. Just sit somehow that's more comfortable where your spine is straighter. Because what I really want us to focus on is the arms and what we're doing there. So the left arm is going to lift. The palm is going to face back behind you. Bend the elbow. Take the right arm out. Thumb faces down, palm turned away. And then bring that hand up as best you can. Realign your spine in case it started getting crooked, because it can get crooked when we're setting that arm behind us. Gomukhasana, cow face pose or face of light. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine, right? The legs are our foundation. The legs are what allow us to either face or flee away from our fear. It takes courage to face fear. The hips allow us to become more adaptable to change and to be able to face the unknown. The core of the body gives us the strength, the perseverance, and the resilience. And the heart allows us to find that courage. The throat allows us to express it. Affirm mentally within. Free in my heart, I choose to live without fear. I choose courage. All right, so you can sit comfortably with the legs, or sometimes it's fun just to lean back into the hands and crisscross and come up to sit. That may not work. So if you need to bring your right knee down, cross your left leg over. Right arm will then reach up, palm turned away, bend from the elbow. Left arm, thumb turned down, palm turned out. Thread that arm up. And again, you may get kind of crooked through your spine, sending your left hand behind you. So realign. Close the eyes. Concentrate on your breath. Concentrate on aligning the chakras. You have the courage to face any and all fears. Once you release, we're gonna uncross the legs. We're gonna roll down to the back. Once we roll down to the back, if shoulder stand is in your practice, that's what I'd like you to take. If shoulder stand is not in your practice, I would rather you take Setu Bandhasana bridge. So bridge is where you stay on your head, your neck, your shoulders, your upper back, but you're tucking and lifting, creating space between you and the floor. The shoulder stand, you fly the legs up, kiss the inner thighs together, the big toes together. And shoulder stand's not good for my neck anymore, so I'm coming out. If you want plow with your shoulder stand, slowly lower the legs over the face. If you're in bridge, stay in bridge. If you've been in plow, lift the legs back up, Sarvangasana, shoulder stand. If you've been in bridge, I want you to float your feet and take waterfall.
If you're coming out of shoulder stand, I want you to take the counter of fish to flush and open the throat and the thyroid gland. If you're in a waterfall with the feet up from your bridge, you can lower the feet down and you can come out of bridge. Those in fish, you can slowly exit fish. Now everyone should be back down on their backs and you can hug the knees in. At this juncture, you can stay here in Uttanasana. You can also move into Ananda Balasana. When you're ready, we are preparing for Shavasana. So if you need a bolster or a back bend or to take under your thighs, you can create a restorative position. If you would rather sit to meditate, you can sit on the bolster. Line up your back. Let your eyes softly close. As you start to drift towards a calm state of relaxation, I want to share with you that Jupiter is moving into the sign of Aries May 10th. Through the end of July. Jupiter is a planet of expansion and Mars is the initiator. It's usually fast moving energy. And then it's going to come back around in that same sign by the end of the year. So maybe being the question, what is calling you? And can you go for it? You have the courage to try, to initiate, to upstart. And then I want to leave you here with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
begin to deepen the flow of our breathing. To activate your breath work, you begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. And eventually exiting out of the pose that you chose to come into a formal seat. Join the palms together. Place the thumbs at the top of the sternum. This class being a reminder to hold on to our courage, to seek and find our courage, and to be bold and brave with our courage. May we embody that within. And let's send our healing, love, and energy to Kim. Let's rub the hands together. And when you open up the arms, feel that departure of the energy. Imagine it's flowing directly to her and her team of doctors and all her family members. Take a deep breath in. So it is, and let it be so. Bringing the hands together. Namaste. Namaste.